Welcome back again to Joe Stunner Boxing. Do you have a spare £1.5 billion in your back pocket, or maybe down the side of the sofa? Because if you do, you might want to buy Matchroom Boxing. Matchroom. Actually, it's all of Matchroom, the whole of Matchroom Sports. So that's the darts, the snooker, boxing, the lot. 1.5 million. Now, why do I say this? It's because the selling of Matchroom was addressed by both Eddie Hearn and his father, Barry, who was the founder of it. And Barry actually said, I'm not going to gamble away my fortune, but if the right deal comes along, selling Matchroom is not out of the question. All right. Now, one of the people that would be interested in this is Turki Alalshikh. Eddie Hearn said, I've just spoken to Turki, and he said, just to let you know, please keep it confidential that we're trying to buy Matchroom. Well, cheers, Eddie. Just let the cat out of the bag. And then Barry said, so what's Turki Alalshikh saying that he wants to buy Matchroom? Where has that come from? Which is a good thing to say when he hasn't even had a conversation about it. Which is true. Life's getting a bit complicated. The idea is to keep things as simple as possible, says Barry, but inevitably, because of the size of the business, we're going into a situation or situations that we've never anticipated before. So what he is saying, Barry, is that this thing started off as a family business and it remains a family business. Barry made his name with snooker in the 1980s. Again, I was only a teenager then, but Steve Davis was the jewel in his crown, 6-time world champ at snooker. Then they went into darts. Leighton Orient was owned by Matchroom for a while, bit of football. And then the boxing. The boxing started in 1987 with the late Joe Bugner fighting Frank Bruno at that was Tottenham Court Road, was it White Hart Lane? And that was a fight that people had been trying to make, and in steps Barry Hearn. He also, at various times, he certainly promoted Chris Eubank Senior, definitely. But he had a few fights with Nassim Hamed, I seem to remember, and a few others. And I think, did he promote Nigel Benn at some point? I think he did as well. There were very, very briefly, the odd fight here and there. Hearn Senior seemed to go from sort of fight to fight. The only one that he had a really, really long, different fighters, he went from fight to fight, like on a fight-to-fight basis. The only one he signed to a long-term contract was Chris Eubank Senior. And he had a lot of success with Chris Eubank Senior, who fought a lot of, C- level fighters in defence of his WBO titles. But the WBO was not as highly thought of as it is now. It wasn't one of the big four. It was vying for position as one of the big four and did eventually become it. But Barry also went on to say, I'm planning my exit, not just from a business, but from life itself. Wow, okay. I want to make sure my legacy is protected, and anyone who wants to invest in our company, and it is our company, has to follow the rules, no matter who they are. And he's talking about Turki Alalshikh. Barry said, if Jesus came down, there's criteria before I let him on the board. The same applies to Turkey. It's a major, major move and there's no rush. We're not getting blown away by anyone. We take it at our own pace. Now, Hearn, of course, continues to work with Alalshikh, and I think their relationship is pretty good, although when Alalshikh got into boxing, Frank Warren was his main man. Eddie came on board later, but they seem to have a very good working relationship. And if you want to buy Matchroom, the whole damn lot, job lot, the price is 1.5 billion. Wow. Yeah, chump change to Musk and Elon Musk, but not exactly chump change to anyone else. What do you think about this? I mean, perhaps you don't care. Perhaps you don't care who runs Matchroom, but I always think that it's to make something a limited company, to have stocks and shares and all that stuff, you're basically joining that whole corporate marketplace. Whereas to have a company that is privately owned is, to use the well-worn phrase, a family business. That's a slightly different dynamic. But at the same time, as Barry says, if things get so big it's very difficult to keep control of all of it. I don't know. A big behind-the-scenes person within Matchroom is Eddie's sister as well. I can't remember her name offhand. I did know it, but I've forgotten. But she does a lot of stuff behind the scenes, you know. And apparently, from what I've heard from people who work around that, work for a certain broadcasting platform and are close to Matchroom, she is quite a sort of hard-nosed businesswoman. Doesn't suffer fools gladly. I don't know. Are they going to sell it? Probably eventually. I mean, all things must pass. But at 77 years of age, Barry Hearn, yeah, as he says, he's preparing for the, his twilight years. But it might even be an Indian summer, you know. I don't know. Let me know what you think about this. If you have an opinion, the comments below, of course, and I'll give them a read. And thanks for watching the video. If you did like the video, please hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel if you're new, because it costs you nothing. You're a very generous person and you're helping us out. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I will speak to you again soon. Bye for now.